What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome, oh welcome. Today we're going to continue our God Roll grind for this seasonal weapons. Today we're going to be talking about the Stasis Primary Bow with Raconteur. Now this comes from that war table in Mara Sov and those Defiant season battlegrounds. Now for this we're going to go over PvP, PvE God Rolls for you guys with a few different options for each of these. Now before we get into these rolls, we got our origin trait with Noble Deeds. This weapon gains charges after assisting allies with revives, healing, overshields, or subclass buffs. Defeating targets consumes this charge. While we are charged with this though, our weapon gains bonus handling and reload speed or charge for swords, so we get increased handling and reload speed on this bow when we have that Noble Deeds procced. So to start out for PvP, we're going to build this out for accuracy for sure with that little stability and handling about even. You can see at the bottom those stats. Now we're going to be using that accuracy intrinsic, so that masterwork if you will on this bad boy. Now for our first perk, we're going to be using Polymer String. This gives us increase to accuracy as well as a faster draw time, allowing us to have that 6-4-8 in the draw time. Now when we move into our arrow, we're going with that carbon arrow shaft right here for that increased in that stability, which again evens us out at that 58 and 56 for stability and handling. Now for our third column, we have Surplus here for our first enhanced perk. This gives us increased handling, reload speed, and stability for each fully charged ability. So usually you hold onto your abilities a little bit longer inside of the Crucible than the PvE realm. So this being able to have that handling, reload, and stability is a super nice implement. Plus you kind of learn when you have this on, you're wary of it, and you save your grenades and melees for when it is super important and you know you're going to get those defeats. Now in this second column, you could also go with Archer's Tempo. The draw time substantially decreases after every precision hit for a longer duration, so it just allows us to shoot faster with this weapon. More of a PvE perk in my opinion, which it is in my God Roll for PvE as well, but it is a nice secondary choice for Surplus. Now when we move on to our fourth column and our enhanced perks, I'm going with Gut Shot Straight. Aiming down sights increases body shot damage, but decreases target acquisition slightly. That's why we're using Surplus plus Gut Shot Straight as my overall God Roll for this weapon. Now as a backup to this fourth column perk as well, just kind of like we had Archer's Tempo in the third column, you could go with Explosive Head because it does explode after a short delay, so you can hit people around corners a little bit. You know, if they're crouching one shot around a corner, you could throw it at their feet and that little explosion might get those defeats. But overall, Surplus and Gut Shot Straight is definitely my God Roll with that backup of Archer's Tempo, Explosive Head, which will also be a PvE God Roll with just some different first and second perks. Now when we move on to our PvE God Roll right here, we're going to be using Draw Time for our enhanced masterwork right here, giving us the stats you see down below with that impact, accuracy, draw time, and reload speed. Now for me, I have this crafted out with Natural String, kind of the jack of all trades, gives us increased handling, stability, as well as accuracy. Love having this on my bows for PvE. Next off in our second column, we have Compact Arrow Shaft. It is giving us increase to handling and reload speed. That handling is up to 71, so we can switch between this and something like a grenade launcher, shotgun, whatever we're using to back this up in the PvE realm. Now starting right here for our overall God Roll for this third column. Now we do have two different options again, but I personally crafted Archer's Tempo on this so that draw time substantially decreases after each precision hit, and it pairs perfect with our fourth column perk that I have for this certain build. Now, as my secondary choice for this bow, I'm going with Wellspring, so final blows with this weapon generate improved amount of energy for our abilities, so getting those defeats on those rank and file enemies, or just any enemies in general, are going to give us energy, which PvE, we want to spam our abilities as much as we can, so this is why I went with this as my backup for the third column. Now, when we move on to the fourth column, what I am pairing for Archer's Tempo is Headstone right here, the God Roll combination, because Precision Final Blows spawn stasis crystals at these target's location with that improved stability. So pairing Archer's Tempo, where we get faster draw times from precision hits, with Headstone spawning stasis crystals on those precision hits, it's a nice perfect synergy in my opinion, and pairs very well with those stasis subclasses. Now, as a backup, you can go with Explosive Head, very trusty dusty inside of the PvE realm as well. Definitely does a little bit more damage on something like those champions or bosses if this is all you have left for damage. But I personally like that Headstone Archer's Tempo combination, but even Archer's Tempo with Explosive Head is a very, very good combination, and even Wellspring with Explosive Head, also a banging combination. So like I said, this bow for PvP, very good for those body shots with gut shots straight, and in general, just pairing it with hand cannon, hot swapping, a very good bow. PvE realm, a very good synergy with Archer's Tempo and Headstone in my personal opinion. That's what I went with. Very good for that stasis synergy especially, but Wellspring and Explosive Head, not a bad combo as well. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying these God Roll guides as well as the builds this season. If you guys are, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button and that bell to get notifications so you know when I post new videos. Definitely coming out with a lot more this season, as well as just in general got a lot of content to cover in Destiny. So thank you guys again for that support. I truly appreciate it. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.